Hello and welcome to College Game Day Week 11, live from wherever the fuck you want it to be. I am Chicago Ted, one of the Fighting Chicago Teds and the Oklahoma Sooners. And the rest of the people here don't know how to fucking talk, I guess.
Hey, I'm Sagebo. Hi.
and I'm Oblivious Lags, head coach of the ECU Pirates.
I am Jumbo, but I forgot how to English, so please excuse me.
And our guest host, Trey Chafin, is here, but he was busy beating his dick to Alabama, so we muted him because it was kind of gross sounding. Anyway, we're going to do what we always do and kick it off with Thursday Night Football. Nephew Jack says we're live from North Korea. Everybody watch out for Der Kommissar, Kim Jong-un. We started off with a very...
Kim Jong-un.
Whatever he is. I don't fucking care. He's probably dead. Anyway, we start off with a very riveting game of ECU at Georgia State. ECU head coach, Obvious Lags. Why don't you take us through this shit stirrer here?
Well, last week, Haynes fumbled, when we were driving down to tie the game or even take the lead against Duke, so I threatened to cut his hand off. Well, I did. And then I invested in a biomechanical engineering place that offered to give him a $6 million man hand, and he used that. He scored 2 touchdowns. He's the hero.
This is the reason Saluna complains that we don't do things in coach role play for shit like this.
Sorry, but I did threaten to cut his hand off last week. But no, it's just Georgia State. They're getting better. They're still, they're not great, but they're building for the future. It's just 2 teams that run the ball very well. Willie Cowan doesn't know what the fuck team he plays for anymore, I guess. He is throwing touchdowns, so that's good. But
Justin
Haynes and Guglielmi, they both showed success running, so that's really all it was.
Yeah, Justin Guglielmi has been really good the past few weeks. I think he had 4 total touchdowns last week. He was one of my Offensive Player of the Week nominees.
Let's see here. Yeah, so ECU beats Georgia State in a who the fuck cares matchup. Temple, Northern Illinois. Temple, of course, on the road to no wins. Northern Illinois with a less than impressive showing after nearly knocking off Iowa or Penn State, whoever the fuck they played. They were close. Northern Illinois only pulls it out by 9. I guess it was 23-7 near the end, and Temple got a touchdown in garbage time, so I guess that's why that's that. But does anybody really care?
Not really.
What are you talking about?
It's my conference, and I just don't care.
Temple is my favorite team on the sim.
I don't see why.
Alvaro Jorgensen has the longest pass in CFBHC history.
That's such a depressing stat. Who did that come from again? Who were they playing?
I fucking remember.
I feel like they were playing Penn State, but I don't really know.
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, that's
They're probably playing some shit tier team.
Temple is the shit tier team. Everyone is above them.
But that's how they were. That's how they got it, because they played another shit tier team. Alright, that's
all right.
Anywho,
SMU in Colorado.
Yeah, another team. Does Colorado still have a coach?
I think it's that. Griffith Zero or something.
God damn it, Ted!
We don't have enough people watching. I wanted to get the word out.
Leaving it.
We have 1 person watching. This is almost not even worth doing, really.
Ouch.
That 1 person, though.
SMU at Colorado. Colorado picks up their first victory. SMU's head coach after the game was quoted as saying he doesn't even game plan anymore, so I think he's given up on this season. He has a bright future to look forward to with a top 10 recruiting class, but for right now, this season is just, it's over for him. He's not bowl eligible, and I don't think he gives a shit anymore.
To be fair, I think it was over for SMU in the first 5 weeks.
I mean, they were still bowl eligible after the end of the first 5 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, but when you look at their schedule that they had coming up, there was nothing that they were going to do about it.
Yeah, SMU sucks dick.
All right, Army and Tulane going up. It's just, I mean, Army just kind of wrecked Tulane and Isaac. It was pretty ugly.
Why don't you just call this game the Laurent Christensen show?
Lauren Christensen with 3 interceptions and a pick 6. We got Keyshawn Polsfoot running for 4 touchdowns. Randall Moulton threw 6 interceptions somehow.
18 of 67. That has to be some kind of record, guys.
27% completion percentage. It's bad.
Is that including
That's
passes
literally
thrown to the other team?
Literally the worst game I've ever seen.
I mean, if you count passes to the other team, he's got 2 touchdowns. So.
Yeah, not all the interceptions for Army even made their defensive stat line.
Really?
Jesus.
Shit.
Yeah, only 4 of them did.
No, 5 of them did. Learn to count.
Dude, I go to ECU. What do you expect?
Laurent Christensen, shout out to him leaving. Some NFL scouts have officially jizzed themselves over this game. But to be fair, Tulane's coach Isaac is an Ohio State fan, therefore they are not good at coaching, so maybe slow your roll, NFL scouts, but still. All right, Louisville at Syracuse. And Burletariat with a 7-point win over a very awful Syracuse team that may or may not be coached by somebody these days.
I think they just got a new coach this week.
They just got
Couches.
Who is it?
I don't understand. I truly don't understand how Syracuse is this bad even without a coach to the point where they're losing to Louisville at home, though.
Because they're 1-9. Record says it all.
Well,
Yeah.
they have one of the top, if not the top, running backs in college, and their QB is not that bad. Versus Louisville has like literally nothing.
It's got to do with Syracuse's offensive line also, though. They only had a 5.3 rating that last game.
True.
Allen O'Hennessy. You know, this game was before. St. Patrick's Day joke. Yeah, you know where it's going. Louisville wins, Proletariat picks up the victory, and I don't think they're bowl ineligible yet, are they? They keep the bowl dream slightly alive, like it's still on life
got 5
support.
losses, so.
Yes, I can see that, but I don't know if that means that they're bowl ineligible.
Well, I mean, you are a Michigan fan. I don't know if you can read very well.
Suck my dick.
A lateral. Looking at the remainder of their schedule, they have a home game against Clemson, at Wake Forest, and a home game against Kentucky to finish the year out. So
They can. They're not going to win that game against Clemson, and Kentucky's starting to finally show up, so that'll be dangerous. But they could certainly beat Wake Forest.
So they have a shot of finishing 6-6, but if they get a bowl of that, then it's not going to be a very good bowl.
It's better than the bowl you're going to.
True.
Ah, damn.
Anyway, Colorado State at Utah State. Utah State driving right alongside Temple for the road to no victories. Colorado State, Slaughterhouse 5, slaughtering them. Robert Martin kicking himself for only getting 399 yards, not 400. His OCD is kicking in. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Tyrone Cox came in. Robert Martin begged Slaughterhouse 5 to let him pick up 1 more yard. Robert Martin did not want to risk the injury, so Tyrone Cox came in and picked up 36 more yards and another touchdown to Willie Matthews. And this is just an open and shut case of a good team versus a bad team.
I don't know how good Utah State will be next year either, because I was doing a write-up for MWC recruits. I think they picked up 5 special teamers in round 1 that were like 3.5 at the most.
Because no one wants to go to Utah State. I mean, Utah is full of Mormons. It's terrible. And the only fucking lake they have has salt in it.
It's perfect for this site.
Boo.
Obviously, that means time's going to jump to Utah State because it's the saltiest lake ever.
I'm sorry, did you say rabid? Rabid. Anyway, here's a rare and special treat. USC is playing a fucking Thursday game because they just have not lived up to expectations. But they did. They beat the Beavers and got a domestic violence charge for it.
It's just another case of everything Ace Wolf touches dies.
Yeah, because Ace Wolf's not a good coach. No, I'm just kidding, Ace Wolf. He's
not.
Like we said last season, it's going to take Ace Wolf at least a year to get in there, get the recruits he wants, and to get his system established. Within 2 or 3 seasons, they'll be a mid-tier team. I don't know if they'll ever actually fight for the Pac-12 championship, but they'll at least start going to bowls. He's picked up an Oregon State team that hasn't ever had. They've never had any stable leadership. All their coaches end up leaving. I don't think they've recruited. The AI recruited for them this season, but outside of other seasons, they've just had walk-ons.
Fun fact about this game, the USC running backs were 12 yards short of having as many yards as Oregon State did as a team. And that's on 16 touches.
Also, take a look at Greg Holt's number. 4 of 17 for 32 yards and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, but he's got those 3 rushing attempts for 5 yards. You can't leave that out.
Never mind, I take it back. He's good.
Maybe, maybe Paul Roberts needs to come in for Greg Holt. He went 2 of 2 for 9 yards. I mean, that's almost as many yards as John Wilson got.
Yeah, but Paul Roberts can't run. He didn't show up in the rushing. Obviously, Holt's a dual threat, so duh, he's better. Duh.
Ace Wolf has probably given up on this season, kind of like time has. Final game of the night, North Texas at Hawaii. Friday morning game, really, for Hawaii, or Friday night game. North Texas beats Hawaii in a matchup of 2 bad teams. Yeah. Fabian Morin has just decided he wants in the Heisman race, going 50 for 70 for 583 yards and 5 touchdowns.
But a 2-8 team really can't be in the Heisman race.
Anyway,
Yeah, we'll try.
Someone
it was a joke.
I mean, straight up, Sean Jenkins.
I mean, he's probably going to win Offensive Player of the Week, for God's sake.
Fabian Morin's only like a 3 out of 3.5. He's throwing it to Sean Jenkins, who's a 5.5, and the rest of his receiving core is 3.5 at the most. I think Jeffrey Garcia is a 1 out of 3.5.
Fun fact: 542 of 583 yards for Morin came to 2 receivers.
Jesus Christ. Sean
Which
Jenkins
is weird because the 3rd receiver on the stat line had 78 yards, so he maybe had negative 30 yards to other receivers, or there's some kind of typo.
Well, no. Stephen Myers came in, and he threw 1 pass for 88 yards to Sean Jenkins.
Jesus fucking Christ. How did I not notice that?
Because,
oh my God.
Because Zenmer says, fuck you, Brian Kelly's face, and still throws, at his own 12-yard line with 18 seconds left. Zenmer trying to get a rivalry going between North Texas and Hawaii.
Well, I mean, I hear that Brian Kelly's face didn't actually show up for this matchup. In fact, I believe he is now. I will search it, but I think he may have officially abandoned the Hawaii job. Saluna with us saying he's posting both evening and night games in 30 minutes.
Oh, nice. Even better.
Brian Kelly's face has not been on since March 6th. He is officially inactive. So R.I.P. in peace, or R.I.P. in Paul Walker, never forgetty Brian Kelly's face, who has abandoned us.
Why we got to bring Paul Walker into this?
R.I.P. in Paul Walker.
You're gonna make me cry.
R.I.P. in Paul Walker. I would cry too if one of my favorite franchises was the Fast and the Furious.
Why you gotta go there?
Because it's really fucking easy. Anyway, that's the end of the Thursday night games. Lax, did you want to perform the Friday night ceremonies?
Do I really have to?
No, because we
Yes.
can just skip them. I mean,
No,
nobody
we
really
gotta talk
cares.
about them, guys. Come
We
on.
can just look at the records of the Little Sisters of the Poor, but I mean, outside of that,
All right, here's a summary. Miami won, Ohio won. They play next week. Whoever wins wins the MAC. The end.
Thank you.
and then the winner goes on to get shit on.
Somehow
Essentially.
a MAC team wins a game in the playoffs and all y'all look stupid.
Well, I mean, it won't. I mean, we won't look any dumber than you will in about a week with your bracket.
My bracket is gold.
I mean,
Your
the
bracket is
winner
fucking
will probably play
brutal.
Houston, and Houston will probably.
If a MAC team beat
Run a
Houston,
train.
I wouldn't be too surprised.
I mean, that's why they play the games. You can't just write off a team before the game even starts.
I write you off every week. It hasn't worked this season, but usually it's pretty fucking foolproof.
I'm just waiting for the. If you want to crown their ass, then crown them. They are who we thought they were. We let them off the hook.
Just if that happens, if they win, just play DJ Steve Porter's press hop mix.
All right, let's move on to the morning.
No, yeah. I was gonna go over the MAC games, but I suddenly lost all my energy for it, so we'll move on to the morning games.
So first game was UConn versus the Fighting Zicos, Marshall.
Poor UConn just cannot get a fucking break. They're still not bowl eligible yet.
Rob Zico
Well,
does it
they-
all for Marshall. Everything
UConn missed
for
a field
Marshall
goal
comes
that
from
would-
Zico in this game.
Connecticut missed a field goal that would have put them up by a touchdown, and then Zico puts in a touchdown run with 22 seconds left.
Well, no, it would have put him up by 6. So all Marshall has
That's
to
true.
do is just hit the field goal.
What is Zico? Is he like a 4-4?
4-5, I think,
You know what? I'll look them up.
I'm checking.
which makes me even scared for the last week of the season.
I feel like
no,
Trey's gonna beat me there.
Zico demolished me week 1. It was ugly.
I'm just
I
gonna
don't
break.
understand why UConn passes more than they run, to be honest. If you have Ricardo Reed and
Jesus
if you're recruiting
Christ.
Marshawn Miller, I'd expect the guy to want to be a run.
Zico's a 3.5 out of 4.5.
Well, that's the thing. He might be overthinking it. You know, with people seeing that he has that good of a running back, they might be playing the run against him to the point where he thinks if they're going to play the run, I might as well play the pass. And he's overthinking and psyching himself out when he's looking at the game plans.
Why is Marshall's depth chart 6 pages with 110 replies? What the
Because there was a party in the comments.
There was? I
Yep.
must have missed this.
Yeah.
Oh well. Backing out, I'll leave the depth chart page open so we can search if we need to. Marshall continues to look pretty damn good.
They still played no one though. Their 2 losses were against the only teams that have actually putting up a fight against them.
I mean, yeah.
Like here, I mean, UConn's not a bad team. I mean, they're not a great team, but they're not terrible. And even here, Marshall struggled against UConn and had to rely on their quarterback running it in from 3 yards out in the last minute.
Well, bottom line to me is Marshall cruises and Connecticut is still looking for that last win to put them in a bowl eligibility. Anyone got the schedule up?
For what?
Oh, look.
Just for CFBHC, I want to see if Connecticut has a chance of making bowl eligibility or if they blew it. What? I'll, I kind of want to call out Dean for using totes adorbs, but
That's
then I
what
didn't want to
I
say it.
was about to say something about that.
I didn't want to say it out loud, but then I fucking said it out loud, so I'm calling you out, Dean. What the fuck?
I mean, it's
Probably not
team
even-
I
based.
guess to just answer some questions.
I mean, we knew he was a theater major. He says totes adorbs. It's
That's
starting to
okay.
all add up here, guys. Horrible track record with women.
Hey, so sorry guys, I have to bail. I didn't think we'd be waiting so long, but thanks for having me on for like 20 minutes and saying barely anything.
See you later,
Loser.
Lynch Sage.
Lynch Sage. Oh, we killed him off. Hooray. So was he the one who was going to look up the schedule, or...
Well, I'm looking at it right now. UConn has a bye this week, then they go to Rice, and then they have Temple at home for the last game of the year. So they should
so
hit
they're
2
going to be
wins.
bowl eligible.
They'll be 7-5. They should easily get the 2 wins.
Yeah, so Connecticut, pack your bags. You're going to a bowl game.
Yep.
Damn. You could not have asked for an easier path to bowl eligibility right there.
It's probably,
This is where UConn somehow
probably-
fucks it up and
probably
becomes
passing
Temple's
the
first ever
words.
win.
If UConn fucks it up, then they need to be fired. I mean, we need to just lynch the UConn coach.
Blitz?
Like Blitz, yeah. NFL Blitz. Lynch. Fuck.
Well, he's also the Tampa Bay everything, so.
Blitz overboard. Walk the plank, whatever.
No, that's my saying.
Nice.
You don't get to say it very often.
Bruh.
Jumbo, why don't you go over Pitt at Duke? Oh.
Nothing too exciting. I guess my recruit at strong safety, who was a 3.5 out of 5, who has 1 interception so far this year, got 2 picks. Other than that, nothing really exciting happened. Yep.
James Dale with a mediocre but good enough day.
So,
Yeah, he
how
didn't throw a pick.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I didn't have anything important to say except my kicker, who's like an 82 accuracy guy, missed another field goal this year. I don't understand how he's an accuracy kicker.
I was actually about to bring that up. How can you hit a 48-yard field goal as time expires in the first half and then come out and miss the same exact distance in the third quarter?
Nerves.
I truly don't think he's that good. Like, he misses 2 field goals a year. I don't know.
Remember, these are all sim children. They're like sim kids. They're not adults.
Yeah, and I just want to say, Power
So just put him in
seems
a
to
pool
me
and
to
take
be like
the
the
ladder
better
up.
kicker because Weathersby was a power kicker, and we all know what his accuracy was like.
Also, shut the fuck up, Lax. I heard that.
Put him in a pool.
Trying to drown the sim kickers.
Jeez.
God.
Or put him in a room, turn all the doors into walls and light it on fire.
What is this? The Sims 1? Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
Moving on, and Navy at NC State.
God damn it! You've derailed the whole thing now.
No, I've got it back on track. I'm like Purdue, but better.
Oh.
So Navy at NC State. NC State going against a team that I don't even think has a coach anymore, unless someone has been hired by.
B. Braff left. I think someone put in an application. Let me check the job.
Wasn't that
ads.
Monda, and he got denied?
Oh yeah,
by Senna?
that was Monda,
Oh, yeah.
and he got fucking shit on. That was great.
Yeah. So Navy still, I think, coachless.
Yeah, I don't
NC
think
State,
I love. So the best line out of that was Sluna saying, "I didn't even realize you were still around."
Yeah, that was pretty good. So in real life news, real quick, Steve Nash has announced his retirement.
That was expected, though.
Shout out to Steve Nash and what's left of his knees.
and I'm derailing it.
Yeah.
But
Another
NC
real life.
State,
Kentucky is pulling away from Cincinnati, unfortunately.
Oh, nobody fucking cares about that except Rabbit, and he's not on. NC State wins. I know they have a coach. I can't remember their name. I'm looking for him right now. But he was the no. It's Bright Falls, isn't it?
yeah, Bright Falls.
Yes, I got it right. Fuck yeah. All right. So shout out to Bright Falls for beating up on an ugly Navy team who is gonna eventually go to war.
See, the reason Navy didn't do well here is because Raleigh is too far inland for them to get their boats.
Boo.
I'll be here all week.
God damn, this tastes like shit now.
Remember, tip your waitresses.
All right. Mississippi State at Maryland. The bipolar Mississippi State team swings back to the other side. I think Lax had a comment on this one.
Oh, yeah, this was actually, as Descartes says down in the replies to this thread, it's actually one of the most even games that this Sim's ever seen because both lines are about even. The punting average is even. Even the quarterbacks and running backs have about the same amount of yards and attempts. So it's one of those things. But then it doesn't even come down to that. It comes down to Elon Youngblood, who's trying to make his parents proud because he went to Maryland and cursed the family name. Hits a 52-yard field goal as time expires to win. He's got ice in his veins. It's great. Two teams under 500, both of them. So I mean,
And if that's in
mean,
Starkville, he misses that kick. I'm going to say that right now. Little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
of home field advantage there.
He's also,
The
He's
sound
also-
waves from all the cowbells ringing would have pushed the ball too far wide. But
he's also a 1.5, a 4.5.
Jesus. But they're both 4 and 5 at this point. Maryland has at Penn State, Michigan State, at Rutgers remaining. Maryland's probably not getting bowl eligible.
Well, I don't know about that. Michigan State has been playing like flaming garbage this season, and Rutgers, no
Isn't
matter
it?
what they do, they cannot pick up a fucking victory. I believe in you, Gerv. I believe that you'll get to a really shitty bowl. Do not
then-
let me down, you motherfucker.
And then looking at Mississippi State, they have Bama next week, Northwestern the week after, and at Ole Miss to finish out the season. They're both 4 and 5. I don't think Mississippi State gets bowl eligible.
Maryland has a better chance, but Ole Miss, they're kind of sporadic on when they want to show up and when they don't. And this Mississippi State team has already proven that they can take out the big dogs. So I'd give them the puncher's chance at Alabama. They can certainly beat Northwestern, and they can certainly beat Ole Miss.
It's just depending on which team shows up, and this right might be a
Are
good
they
team, might
at
be a
Ole
bad
Miss?
team.
If they're at Ole Miss, I'll give Ole Miss the edge there.
Yeah, it's at Ole Miss.
Then they may be fucked. If they beat Alabama, though, they're certainly going to gain bowl eligibility.
They beat Alabama, the site will rejoice.
Yeah.
Next game, Michigan at Rutgers. Actually,
Hey.
better game than you would think, looking at Rutgers' record compared to Michigan's, because Michigan's 6-3. Rutgers hasn't won a game this year.
Rutgers
It still came down to the end.
still on the road to no wins, but they are certainly a lot further behind Temple and Utah State. I feel like Rutgers could pull out a victory before the end of the season, whereas Temple and Utah State will not. Shout out to Tommy Jones, actually repping the University of Michigan, not like Devin Gardner. 15 for 20, 248 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
If Rutgers gets a win, next week is their best chance because they host BYU.
They could win that one. Hail to the
Acme, if you're
victors.
listening, play the pass.
Acme, it's still on the site.
Acme, play the pass, and don't put Keith Simon in or I will murder you.
Acme is actually still on the site.
Yes.
I thought you guys fired him.
That doesn't mean he leaves the site.
Well, I thought you fired him because he was inactive.
No, we fired him because he wouldn't put game plans in.
That's kind of the definition of being inactive.
No, it's just ignoring it.
Anyway, hail to the victors. Michigan wins, maize and blue. And Rutgers continues to suck dick. Clemson at Wake Forest. Where the fuck is everybody? Y'all are fucking quiet.
Trey probably thinks he's still muted.
Like,
I
where's
forgot how to English.
Oh, there he is. I thought Jumbo lagged out with his shitty Cape Town internet.
Too much time in South Africa, he's learning Afrikaans instead.
He's too busy eating those fucking chips.
You fucking what, mate?
That's Australian. You're horrible.
You just
I
hear the
wasn't
crunch
trying
in
to
the
be.
back.
Okay, just move
He's
on.
trying to eat some kind of like sweet onion and vinegar chips or some shit that he's addicted to.
I'm
I-
eating Ruffles and ranch dip.
It's because you're gross,
I
Trent.
don't have any food on me right now. I wish I had those though. Nah, I'm just kidding. All right, move on.
Clemson beat Wake Forest. I know Emperor of Orange really wants us to go over this game, but nobody fucking cares, really.
I mean, obviously, hashtag Steve Reed for Heisman. I mean, 13 to 17, 157 for 3 touchdowns. He's the
Don't you
best player
start
in
this shit again.
Donald Dingle on Clemson had 22 attempts for 51 yards.
Donald
Clearly an elite
Dingle.
running back.
He actually does have a touchdown that's missing because he scored the first touchdown of the game, but it's not listed in the stats.
Donald Dingle for first name team
that's-
All-American.
Donald Dingle.
I'm pretty sure his fullback has
What
last
an
name
awesome-
Barry, too.
Anyway, Emperor of Orange, we don't give a fuck about Clemson. They won. Congratulations. You're not going to watch
Clemson
this.
sucks.
Clemson does suck. Fuck you, Clemson. Virginia Tech at Miami. Xander finally showing what a depth chart can do for a team, picking up the victory. He's now 7-3 on the season, and his seat has considerably cooled off since last season's debacle.
I think I beat him.
I don't think I care.
I mean, if you look at Miami here, whoa.
What?
I remember like a month ago, people were saying that Virginia Tech was being underranked because they were 5-0, but they'd only a bunch of shit teams, and now they've played 5 conference games and they've lost all of them.
So, you still got the Jumbo? You still got the schedule up, Jumbo?
I do.
Huh?
Or Lax?
I have it up.
Who's left for Virginia Tech?
Virginia Tech has a home game against Duke, a bye, and then a home game against Virginia remaining.
It looks like they're going to get bowl eligibility. Virginia's bad, and Duke is, on their best day, they're mediocre.
Virginia beat
Duke could beat Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech would beat Virginia. Bob Dowler is garbage, and Pickleman has not been coaching his team very well this season.
Pickle Man.
Yeah, Pickleman. Pickleman.
Pickleman,
That's his
please.
new name. Anyway, Virginia at Kentucky. Closer than the experts think, but not because of Bob Dowler. C. McGill, is that his name?
Oh, C. McGill, yeah.
It's C. McGill, it's not CMC Gill? Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie McGill picks up the victory. Kentucky 4-5, starting to catch a little bit of fire at the end of the season, maybe trying to make a run at bowl eligibility.
They have at Vanderbilt, Missouri, and at Louisville to finish the season out. So
It's going to be difficult, and it's going to come down to that Louisville-Kentucky matchup. One of them is going to win bowl eligibility. I don't know. It's certainly going to be a great matchup to watch if you're a fan of teams fighting for bowl eligibility, because Missouri's going to take them behind the woodshed. And
if you're looking at games that are between teams that might not even go to a bowl because there might be too many bowl eligible teams.
yeah, that'd be kind of depressing, wouldn't it? But we won't set that standard up. We'll pretend everyone who gets 6 wins will go to a bowl to make this interesting. You got to keep the dream alive.
If I finally reach 500 this year, which is looking possible if I beat Virginia, I'm going to be super pissed if I don't make a bowl game.
Go
Hey,
Hoos.
Trey, I just wanted to point out that the Thunder beat the Hawks last night
Without Durant.
Yeah, we're missing players too. So
Yeah, but the Hawks still suck dick.
Obviously,
And
obviously they changed their names to the Hawks.
also, so on the Hawks sucking dick, we're going to move on to Florida at South Carolina, where the Gamecocks picked up a victory over Florida. And I just want to give a shout out to the Impost scandal. He thinks he ran a vertical offense with passing. He asked Saluna what happened. Saluna said he was running a smash mouth with more passing, which accounts for the 33 rushes and the 10 passes for Yancey Musgrave. He went to the interface, said it said vertical offense, refreshed it, and then it suddenly changed to smash mouth, and now he's pissed and trying to get to the bottom of this controversy where most of us are just convinced he fucking clicked smash mouth and he just fucked it up.
To be fair, with how much he talks shit about Yancey Musgrave, you'd think he'd be happy about taking the ball out of his hands.
I'm pretty sure he just like accidentally switched to Smash Mouth and updated it because he was so pissed at Musgrave and then never changed it.
maybe
I'm 90% sure that's what happened.
Maybe Inspral did us all a favor and just did it for us to make us all laugh.
Guys, I just think, Impost is the top nominee for the Riddick Septic Tank Cleaner Worst Coach of the Year, so maybe he just fucked it up. This is Impost we were talking about.
Is he a better coach or a better artist? Can't tell.
He's a better artist, and that's saying something. South Carolina still on a respirator for their bowl eligibility dreams. Joe Dici, or whatever his name is. Joe Dici. I was close without looking at it.
Well, to be fair, they're what? They're 4-5 at this. They could go 6-6 because they have games against Syracuse, at Tennessee, and at Clemson.
They could, given this team, they could certainly win Uh,
I mean, they could win all three.
yeah, they could. They
Because
seriously could.
Clemson's offense has been missing, and that's I guess an understatement. There's been no offense from Clemson some games. Like the game against NC State a couple weeks ago, it was 14-7, and that's not because NC State has a great defense. That's just because both offenses were on ventilators and health support.
So Joe Dici just walks into the middle of a fucking dumpster fire, and he could take them to a bowl game, and good for him. Shout out to Joe Dici. It actually was his first career win on this site, so shout out to Joe Dici for.
Shout out to Joe Dici, who I'm going to shit on next year.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
You were a flash in the pan, and now you're gonna be a shit coach.
Nah, my line is actually going to get good next year. It's actually going to be not freshman.
Okay, so moving on to the afternoon games. You know what? I'll be right back. And then we'll start the afternoon games.
Quick,
This
Katy Perry, where are
commercial
you?
break is
Katy Perry, please.
this commercial break is brought to you by M-Post Industries. M-Post Industries for when you set the wrong game plan.
I'm just ready for the night game to get posted,
So you can see how bad you got beat.
so I can see how bad I won.
I didn't know who losing counted as winning. I don't know. That was not the best comeback I've ever said.
I'm gonna.
He's an Alabama fan.
gonna
Even
beat
when they lose, they claim it as a victory.
I'm gonna beat them.
Well, they lost to Ohio State, and they're the national champions. Therefore, Alabama lost to the national champions, so they're the second best team.
That's better.
Everybody hates you, Ped.
I'm sorry, my name is not Trey Chafin, and I don't root for Alabama. And my name is not Rabbit, and I don't root for Kentucky, so obviously that's a false statement. Anyway, let's move on to UBL, the fighting UBLs versus Cincinnati.
When you say fighting UBLs, you obviously mean the rollover and die UBLs for this game.
Yeah, UBL needs to be glad he printed out his ticket to go see the Orlando City match tonight because he's going to need something to keep him on to keep him busy. Suicide watch joke. Anyway, Cincinnati came in and UCF came into Cincinnati and never got off the bus, really. Robert Wright made...
I don't even think they got on the plane in Orlando.
They can't afford a plane. Robert Wright, a 74-yard touchdown pass, and then follow that up with a 63-yard touchdown pass. So how about those ranked the Knights? They lose bad, and they're going to fall out of the top 30. Rank the Bearcats, though, 9-1, and proven to be a formidable team.
The only bad part about them is they're 9-1, but they're not going to win the West because they've already lost to Houston, who is leading the West and is undefeated in division play or in conference play. Houston's going to be the West representative, which sucks for Cincinnati because they have a good team. So they're going to go and they're just not going to get noticed at the last week of the season. So they're going to play a shit bowl game. Well, compared to where they could go, because they're not going to make the playoffs as an outside an extra.
Who did they lose to? That's going to force them to not be in the championship game. I wasn't.
Houston.
Oh, Houston. Okay, I was going to say. At least it's not UCF. They have a habit of sneaking into championship games they don't deserve.
Well, that's the thing. Even with this loss, UCF still holds the East champ. Oh, wait. Yeah, because Connecticut lost. So now it's UCF and Marshall at 4-1, and UCF beating Marshall last week gives them that head-to-head tiebreaker right now to be the East representative. But all that does is match them up against a Houston team that already beat a Cincinnati team that just shit on UCF. So that just means that the American Conference Championship game might look even worse than this week's game did.
We're giving too much love to the AAC right now.
I'm the commissioner. I got to get my 5 minutes in.
Kansas State and Iowa State. Kansas State taking fucking Iowa State behind the woodshed and absolutely
That's like
tearing
the
them
fifth
a
time
new
you've said that
asshole.
phrase today.
Okay, well, you're not really talking, so I'm having to carry this right now. Anyway, Kansas State's completely ripped Iowa State a new asshole.
Iowa
And-
State's QB completed 5 passes and threw 3 picks.
I mean, they were throwing in the snow. And
But
as
still,
always in a snow game, well, fuck it, Marshall Newman passing for 250 yards on the snow. He doesn't give a fuck. Kansas State rolling on, probably going to get bowl eligibility because they still have Kansas on their schedule, and Kansas just kind of rolled over and died this season.
Yeah, but they have at Oklahoma State next week, so that could put them at 6-6, which, as with the other 6-6 teams, might leave them sitting at home.
Considering the Big 12 situation, I don't exactly know that that's true because out of the North, they would be the only ones who would get a standard bowl game. Because I would be going to the playoffs if I won the North, and that would leave
Yeah, but at that
TCU,
point,
Oklahoma State,
That
Texas.
would be TCU taking over, or I'm assuming TCU because right now they'd be the loser for the championship game. They'd take over the 1. Oklahoma State would be the 2. Texas would be the 3, and then if you guys have 4, Kansas State would fit in there.
Let's take a look at the bowl games. I'll check real quick.
This is if Brookshire, continues to know how to play football. Unless they're making some Space Jam movie equivalent of football, and they just take his abilities for the
We
rest of the season.
have the Alamo Bowl, the New Era Pinstripe Bowl, the Bourbon Bowl, and the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl.
So Kansas State should make the Heart of Dallas Bowl at this point if they get to 6-6.
At least. And that would be, yeah, because the winner of the championship, the winner of the Big 12 will move on to the playoffs, and the loser will probably end up going to the Alamo Bowl. So, yeah, they'll be fine. As long as they win against Kansas, they'll be fine.
Kansas State did play spoiler to Kansas this season last year. Maybe Kansas will return the favor.
Considering the matchup that's next, I think we'll go over that now.
Yeah.
West Virginia versus Kansas in one of the more boring games that Lawrence has ever seen in their lives. And that's saying something because you're in Kansas, for God's sakes. West Virginia beats Kansas. I think they still have bowl hopes, but they're on extreme life support. They still have to play me. So that's not good for them. I didn't clinch the Big 12 because Kansas couldn't win the fucking game. I might be able to win it next week. I haven't seen who West Virginia plays next week, but I have a bye.
West Virginia plays Texas Tech.
If West Virginia loses to Texas Tech, I clinch the North on a bye. If they win, then it comes down to me and them, and I'll put the fucking screws to them. Richmond King, 15 to 21, 164 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Jackson, not a bad game, 114 to 23 with 150 yards, but just couldn't get it in the end zone, I guess. Paul Gibbs got a 19-yard touchdown run to put Kansas on the board, but it was in with like 3 minutes left. Baylor at Arkansas. Baylor actually kept it closer than I think Arkansas would have liked.
Yeah. I don't know. Not much to say about this.
Arkansas,
Baylor,
mediocre. Baylor sucks. I guess that's it.
And that's
Baylor out of bowl
it was in
contention.
Fayetteville, so it's not like Arkansas was playing on the road. They were playing at home, and they still put up this meh performance against a bad Baylor team.
Baylor had the lead at halftime, 14 to 13, also, and that's when. But they were just held scoreless in the second half.
Is triple option an option in college now?
I don't think so.
No, it's still just option, or I think it was Wildcat 2 is the one that was added. That's just even weirder.
I think
Then
triple
how did
option.
How did John Bell get 8 carries then? Because there's no blowout settings in play.
Maybe
I don't know what he's running.
Some kind of
maybe
weird
he had
thing.
a hurry up or something, and that put Sean Bell in the game for Givens, or something like
That
this.
doesn't really make sense.
Maybe he
I don't
has
know.
Sean Bell set. I haven't. Let me look at his depth chart. Maybe he has Sean Bell set as his fullback now.
Yeah, but he also didn't. Bell didn't get a touchdown, so it wouldn't make sense for him to be on the stat line in that case. I don't know. I don't understand why he doesn't
Sean
just
Bell
start
is-
Bell anyway.
Sean Bell's his second because he's dumb. I told you, him and Minnesota can recruit, but they can't fucking coach.
It's just ridiculous.
Stormstopper is
Like,
pointing out that Paul Gibbs' 19-yard touchdown was the longest of his career. Huh.
that's sad.
Sean Bell. God, I cannot think of a reason for Sean Bell to be in there unless you know what. We'll take a look. Now I want to know what he's running. So let me. I'm too lazy to open it
Yeah.
up. Fuck it.
My 3 out of 3 running back has like some kind of like 30 or 40-yard touchdown run, and he gets a touchdown like every week. And Gibbs can only get a 19-yard touchdown run. Jesus.
Trying to think as to why Sean Bell would have been in the game at all, but
Well, with 13 passes, he might be. I mean, there's an outside chance that he could be just running smash mouth.
Weiss said he thinks spread option uses 2 running backs.
it's a possibility. I was thinking that too, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to sound stupid.
And it makes sense.
But
Spread option seems like it would be relatively close to triple option. The closest thing it would be.
Yeah.
Anyway, Baylor out of bowl mention, so they should probably start Sean Bell, but I guess they're not going to because fuck developing your players.
I mean, dude, he can do what he wants. He's in my conference, so as far as I care, he could fucking bench him for his whole career. I don't care.
right,
Indiana at
let's move on.
Wisconsin. Lawyer Johnson objects to losing. Wins 24-7. That's pretty much what the student newspaper headline was. In a very, it was 25 and snowy in Wisconsin.
Every single time Wisconsin wins, it should just be like lawyered, just every time.
Wisconsin sneakily hiding in that Big Ten. Who's their loss to? Anybody remember?
It's not Iowa, but it's someone else. I think they lost in like week 1 or something.
Yeah, they did.
Look. Well, it's not on their wiki page, so I don't fucking know.
Of course not. Fuck them. I don't know.
Hang on. It was
What's
Washington
their
week
schedule
2.
look like?
Do what?
Oh, okay.
They lost to Washington week 2.
Oh, right. That was the game I promised TCTY Killer I'd stop not having faith in him. Okay,
All right.
so Wisconsin pulls out I'd say it's a decent victory for a snowy game. Something they were expected to win, but, it wasn't too exciting for the fans, and they probably froze to death.
It's Wisconsin. What else do they have to do up there?
All right, this game is Texas A&M at Ole Miss.
Texas A&M finally gets another victory after double abandons the site.
That's because they went back to Matty Swift passing.
Do they have a coach now?
Cirque Libleg or something like that.
Okay.
There's like 10 A&M fans on this site now, so I'd be surprised if they ever go coachless again.
They will. Just watch it happen.
Too many for my liking.
Well, not for long.
Anyway.
Matty Swift is good. Ole Miss's QB had a decent day.
It just came down to running out of time for Ole Miss. They tried in the fourth quarter. They converted the only Matty Swift interception of the day to a Brandon Yates touchdown, but just not enough time left on the clock to perform the comeback. They missed the onside kick, and they lose it 24-21.
A&M still in contention for a bowl. They have Arkansas and Texas Tech remaining, so there's a good chance they could get in.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a lot of like 6 and 6 board teams.
Which is going to be bad for the ones that
All
are
right,
playing
let's move on.
6 and 6.
Where are we at now? Number 5,
We're at
Iowa.
5, Iowa at Illinois. And surprisingly, Iowa takes it home.
I want to point out that the score is deceptive because Iowa took the lead back from an Illinois tie with 4:44 left, and while Illinois was driving, William Patterson returned an interception for a touchdown with 3 seconds left in the game to put it away. But this Illinois team gave them fits.
Wasn't Illinois starting Clyde Campbell this year? Because they didn't start Clyde Campbell in this game.
I don't know. It's a good question. Who's the Illinois
I
coach?
feel like they were. I feel like they were.
Smoking
Smoking
cricket.
cricket. Yeah.
You know, every
Some
fucking
kind of
week I forget his name.
some kind of like miracle. Okay.
We're interrupting because we have evening
I'm gonna bring
games.
this up quickly. Evening game just went up, and BYU beat Ohio State.
Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. Norris Brookshire, 27 or 32 for 427 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Ohio State is bad.
Ty Miller, 9 for 150 and 2 touchdowns. Oh
He's
my
gonna look
god.
real good in a Bears uniform.
Fuck you.
I guess to be fair to Ohio State, they don't have Glenn Spencer anymore, but still.
Wow, look at New Mexico, San Diego State. San Diego State won off a 3-yard Orly Vaquero run with 3 minutes left.
That's also because San Diego State can't win by more than a possession.
Oh my god, guys. That was bad.
It's basically literally impossible for them.
Outside
Okay.
of that, not really
Anyway.
too many other
Nothing exciting.
surprises.
Oh my god.
All right,
I'm
night
so
games will be
glad.
up in 10 minutes. So let's just finish this and then quickly make night predictions, and then we can go over the evening games.
We won't be able to make night predictions. We'll make the night game recaps. But we won't make.
Well,
the
we
night
only have
predictions.
one game left for afternoon. So if
Then we have to
do it
go
quick-
over the evening
Let's-
games.
Well, let's just do night predictions first, and then we'll go over the evening. I guess.
Ah.
Here, final game of the afternoon. Minnesota beats Northwestern 28-24. Northwestern tried to make it close to the end. Didn't really do much. So
Ran
Hey,
out of
go ahead.
time. Let's go over the evening games, and we can just go over the night games. Do we really need to predict the night games, then go over evening, and then go over the night games?
can we just all predict the Notre Dame Georgia Tech game because we're all gonna say Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Trey's not even here. Why did we wait so long for Trey if he's not even gonna fucking talk?
Because you didn't want to go with 3.
Well, I mean, we're going with 3 now. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. Anyway, let's take a look at these evening games.
Houston beats San Jose State. Joel
Yeah.
King efficient.
Yeah,
Philip Moore doesn't make the stat line because of 3 picks.
David
That's about
Kaplan
it.
getting fucked up. Air Force at Nevada. Air Force taking care of business against Sagebo, who had to leave early because fuck him. Ohio
Yeah,
State and
so-
BYU game of the night. I feel so bad.
I mean,
for
to be fair,
Glenn Spencer.
to be fair, he doesn't have his QB, but still.
He scheme changed
still.
also. He scheme changed also. So
Yeah.
the game I want to go over: OU at Arizona State. OU finally bringing back the offense, guys.
Yeah, but I mean Arizona State just bad.
I don't care. I don't fucking care.
That's like saying Laurent Christensen's good. I mean, outside of the fact that he is good, but it's great for picking off 3 Tulane passes.
I'm not an Ohio
Yeah,
State fan though, so
Congrats, you beat up on a 1-8 team.
don't care because I needed to pad the stats because I don't talk very much about my players. So Brookshire was likely to get cut from the Heisman like he did last year if he didn't have a stellar game to fucking stand out to the voters.
Voters, listen, it's a shitty team though.
All right, next game. I think San Diego State's the first team to 10 wins. Correct me if I'm
Here,
wrong.
Neo wants us to predict the night games. Should we allow?
We'll just
should
wait
we-
till they're up. I mean, we're already going through the evening game.
Let's just do like insanely quick predictions. Let's just do it. I'll bring up the net games quickly.
Okay.
Why not? Okay. First game is Boston College, number 24 at Florida State, number 25, in a game that pretty much determines the Atlantic.
I'm going to have to go with Boston College. Alex LaShore is going to do more than Dick Cook could ever do passing it, and as long as Boston College can shore up the rushing threat, then Florida State's not going to have a leg to stand on. Boston College has been kind of hot recently with Alex LaShore passing it all over the fucking place, and I think it's finally time for someone to take over the crown of the ACC from Florida State.
I did a preview of this game earlier this week. BC's run defense isn't good. Their run defense is just not good, and so I think that's why FSU is going to end up taking it at home.
I got Boston College because they've looked great last year. They look good this year. Florida State's been down and up. They're starting to get better again, but even though that it's in Tallahassee, I still think Boston College can pull this one off.
All right, we got to start doing it quicker because the games are going to go up soon. Next one is Notre Dame at Georgia Tech. Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
All right,
Notre Dame.
next one is TCU at Oklahoma State.
TCU.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take TCU too. I think it's just dangers. He's just good this year.
Yeah, I gotta go with TCU also then.
Shout out to Notorious Big EJ. He scheme changed from air raid more pass to spread more run just to fuck with Dean. That's funny.
All
as
right,
hell.
next game, number 23, number 11, Arizona.
You kind of broke up.
I gotta
there.
take Arizona.
What game is this?
Number 23, Purdue at number 11, Arizona.
Arizona's going to bounce back after a hard week, but Purdue is going to have a 14-point lead at the half.
Zona, but not by as many as people think.
All right, next game is number 3, Washington at Oregon.
Who at Oregon?
Washington. Close.
Washington, Oregon. Sean Anderson's going to fumble the ball again. You watch.
Next game is number 8, Georgia at number 1, Bama.
I'm sorry, Kafka, but you just don't put up enough points to hang with Alabama. Alabama's going to win by at least 21. I know that's disrespectful as hell, but I'm serious. Georgia's barely beaten teams the past 3 weeks. They just don't have the offense to hang.
Every Georgia game is close. I think they keep it close, but they have to play at Alabama, so I got to take Bama.
I really want to see the upset. Really want to see it. Really want to see him avenge 5 yards. But Bama's gonna get it.
All right, next game is number 16 Auburn and number 22 LSU.
I'm gonna take Auburn. LSU has hit the traditional Crimson Chin coaching slump, and this is not a good time for them to hit it. They've lost. They got blown out by Alabama, and they lost to a Mississippi State team that couldn't even beat Maryland this week. So Auburn's going to win this one by at least a touchdown. The LSU team's going to continue to spiral out of control.
Yeah, I got to agree with Ted. Not about the coaching thing, but just LSU is falling off, and Auburn is not terrible. So they're going to win.
Auburn by 10.
All right, and then the last game is Nebraska at number 4, Penn State.
Penn State's going to win by at least 35 points, and Rabbit's going to be pissed off about it. This is a great day.
Nebraska, another quality loss.
Yeah, we better rank Rabbit in the top 10 after this quality loss.
Dude, Rab's going to be number 3.
I'm taking Penn State, so when they inevitably wallop me in rivalry week, my strength of schedule will go up.
Because it'll be the greatest quality loss you could ever have.
Trey, are you even still here?
No, I don't think so. I try to rack up the quality losses. What can I say?
Dude, that's my whole mindset in out-of-conference scheduling.
Like, losing to my home, quality loss because I say so.
I try to schedule good teams, but if Nebraska doesn't want to play me anymore, I'll take my 2-0 record against them and walk away into the sunset.
Trying to schedule good teams. Why'd you schedule me then?
You offered. I've given up on the scheduling.
Self-burn.
I play Alabama at a neutral site next season, and that's probably the most difficult game I'll ever play around.
We want to suffocate everyone in the stadium with our snark.
Yeah,
I still have out of conference games. I still have out of conference games against 2 top 5 teams, so 2 quality losses right there.
I mean, I just want to point out I have a 2-point loss. The only loss on my season is a 2-point loss to like Notre Dame, the number 2 or 3 team in the country right now. But
So,
my
yeah,
ranking is
I
starting
mean,
to improve back
I
to where
mean,
it should be.
I would list how many games I've lost by how many points, but I don't think we have enough time for me to go through them all. So
So it'll be
not to,
pretty interesting when
not to be a
Rabbit comes
rabid,
on.
not to be a rabid snowman, but like I'm going to
There's night
probably
games.
night games.
night game. I'll
Yeah, I
probably
didn't
like lose to Penn State on the road by 3 and then get dropped in the poll by a bunch. All right, so Florida State does
Oklahoma
win.
State ripped TCU a new asshole, guys.
Holy fuck!
Wow.
Notre Dame beat Georgia Tech. Boston
Guys,
College lost to
Georgia
Florida.
Tech lost.
Yeah, Notre Dame beat Georgia Tech. Arizona barely beat Purdue, and Purdue was up
LSU
at the
beat
half.
Auburn.
Washington beat Oregon.
LSU beat Auburn.
Sean Anderson didn't fumble.
Bama doubles up Georgia.
Sean Hamilton outdueled Todd Jennings, but it's not enough.
Auburn lost, and Nebraska made it close, guys. Quality loss.
Well, yeah, after
It's a
halftime.
quality loss.
Going into halftime, they were just getting shit on.
Mark Harrington, a target receiver with a 102-yard kickoff return to start the game.
So, none of these games are interesting, really.
Well, the Oklahoma State TCU one's a little interesting.
See, no, but the problem with that is that TCU, if TCU beats Texas, which they're perfectly capable of doing, and I beat Oklahoma State, then all they have to do is play Baylor. So
No, but what's interesting about it is Nathan Burden with 3 picks.
Nathan Burden, I mean, he hasn't played top quality. TCU might fall out of the top 25 now.
Hey, danger! Start Keen. He's better, at least according to these stats.
The problem is that TCU really hasn't played anybody good yet, and that's why they got the Virginia Tech effect. I regret picking them, I can certainly tell you that.
I wanted to take Oklahoma State, but I thought that you guys convinced me with talking.
So Bradley Cooley on TCU, even though they got destroyed, he had 21 rushes for 224 yards and a touchdown.
That's still pretty good, but I think I'm willing to bet that Danger put all his stock in Nathan Burden, and that's why he got shit on.
No, Cooley rushed 21 times, Burden threw 17 times. He was just 9 of 17 for 83 yards and 3 picks. And Kerry Miller on Oklahoma State had 2 picks, 1 return for a touchdown.
So
Anthony Ortiz put up 3 sacks, so Nathan Burden did not have the best game.
Jesus.
And that's even behind a 7.0 offensive line rating. So that's just
kind of strange.
that makes Bedlam a little more interesting.
No,
On the bright side for
on
the bright side for Danger, it's a quality loss.
What's the thing? It puts Oklahoma State as leading the South, so there could be 2 straight weeks of Bedlam.
I hope not. I don't want to have to beat him twice. Like I said, if I beat him, if TCU loses to Texas, that's all she wrote. If TCU beat Texas, then all I have to do is beat him, and he beats Baylor. No, actually, I think that would give Oklahoma State the edge, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because that would push Oklahoma State to with 1 loss, because right now Oklahoma State has 0 losses.
Who's left on their schedule?
Oklahoma State has Kansas State at Texas, and then Oklahoma.
Yeah, there's probably gonna be a fucking rematch in the title game.
It's going to be a rematch in the title game.
Double
They're going to
Bedlam.
beat Texas. They're going to beat Texas. They're going to beat Kansas State. And they'll lose to Oklahoma, and then they'll lose to Oklahoma again.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of gross. Oh well, that's the way it's set up. Let's see.
Yep.
Night games are all pretty much chalk.
Yeah, let's go over the evening games quickly, I guess. The one where we left off.
Where were we? I don't even remember anymore.
We were
New Mexico at San Diego State.
yes.
Yeah, San Diego State, I think, is the first team to 10 wins before evening.
Yeah,
I think.
probably.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that sounds correct.
Yeah, so congrats to San Diego State, considering they've never made a bowl. But they only beat New Mexico by 7, so you do have to question how good they actually are.
teams have an off game. I only beat Kansas by 7, and they're like 1-7.
Yeah, true. I also only beat Kansas by 7, so maybe they're just not that bad.
This sim seems to have some kind of hard on for the chance for an upset, you know, or maybe they're
Yeah,
just
well, it doesn't happen that often, like, even compared to real life.
maybe New Mexico
It's
just
like
has a good
saying
coach.
it's like saying Appalachian State beat Michigan on the road. Wow, this sim is so fucking stupid.
Shut
It's the
fuck
same
up.
type of thing.
Anyway, let's
Here,
get-
Jumbo, you be the
You
guy
see what I'm
talking. I'll be
saying.
the guy just yelling about the blocked kick.
I'll eject your fucking
I don't remember
game
the, I don't remember
right
the call.
now.
All right.
Do
The
it.
guy who blocked the kick is in the NFL now, but I don't remember his name. I think he was on the Chargers or something.
Their
Let's
quarterback is a wide receiver for the
on.
Panthers now.
Yeah, and, I think Brian Quick may have been on that team. Actually, no, never mind. All right, moving
Oh yeah,
on.
that is one
get
thing.
this
Notre
shit
Dame
over with
clinches
already.
playoffs with this.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
right.
it was pretty much confirmed they were going to. All the rest of the independents suck.
Well, there's a chance that
Yeah.
if they lost the rest of their games, which was highly unlikely, but there's still the chance that if you lose 4 straight when you're 8-0, you don't go because you got to be 9-3.
Anyway,
All right, guys, I'm gonna take a game day poll. I play Notre Dame next week. How do I win?
you don't start James Dale, which means you don't
So
win.
so bench James Dale. Okay, sounds good. All right.
All right, so let's get this done with. I'm getting tired of this. Vanderbilt beat the shit out of Wyoming. I think they still are on not playoff. I think they're still on bowl game life support, but I think it's looking.
They have a
grim.
chance. I don't know who they play.
They
Well, they're in
don't
the
have a
SEC.
chance, but they have Kentucky, a bye, and at Tennessee.
So they don't. Their
Wait, so they
both
only
game
have-
chances are dead.
Well, according to this, they're 3-6. Shouldn't they have 12 games?
You would think so.
Yeah, they should. 1, 2,
Prob-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Probably an SEC standing fuck up somewhere.
They have 12 games. They're just one's missing.
Yeah, it's just a standings fuck up. All right, good to know, Franz. If you're listening, you should look
Well,
into that.
now let me open up their wiki because I need to know if that's a win or a loss. Because if that's a loss standings fuck up, then
Let's see. They're 3-6 according. No, they're 3-7. That's the problem according to the
Yeah.
wiki.
They're 3 and 7.
So they're out.
they're 3
they're-
and 7.
When they lost to SDSU last week, they were out of bowl
Okay, so
contention.
they're out of bowl contention. They may as well just hang it up.
All right.
Um,
Moving on, Stanford at Washington State. Stanford basically clinches the bowl further than they would have because they're now at 7 wins. Washington State is pretty much dead in terms of bowl contention.
that's fine. They
right.
always have been.
Well, they have
Well,
Oregon, Cal, Washington. That Washington game at the end of the year makes sure that they're not going to go to a bowl.
they're going to get wrecked by Washington, and they're probably going to lose to one of Cal or Oregon. So
They won't lose. They'll beat Cal. I think they
I don't know about that. Cal's not bad.
they could beat Cal and they could beat Oregon.
They could, but I think they're going to lose one of those, which is why I said that.
Best chance
Anyway,
for Cal, so.
It was a 21-14 first quarter. Other than that, pick 6 in the first quarter for Vontae Johnson. It was pretty efficient for the QBs. Fuck running backs. Let's move on. Number 18, Texas at Texas Tech.
This is a game I really wanted Texas Tech to come out and win, but they don't have the same firepower they had last season, and they don't have as good of a defense they had last season.
Yeah, nothing too exciting in this game. Sam Light is still a really bad 4.5 out of 4.5. Troy Bucker puts in 2 touchdowns. Christian Barkley for Texas Tech actually had a good game, but he basically got no help. And so Texas Tech needs to win out to qualify for a bowl. Anyone know who they play?
Looking at who they play at West Virginia, at Baylor, at Texas A&M.
So even though those are 3 road games, I think I could see them winning all of them. Although Texas A&M's kind of iffy.
The Texas A&M game will be their toughest one, but West Virginia and Baylor should be wins for them.
So they have a chance. I'll get a slim one.
Who are they playing? I heard West Virginia and Baylor.
At West Virginia, at Baylor, at Texas A&M. Which this also opens up something interesting because if Kansas State and Texas Tech both win out, they both finish 6-6.
I don't think
Or if
they'll
Kansas State
beat
finishes 6-6.
West Virginia. Personally, I think Texas Tech is going to lose their bowl dreams at West Virginia.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure they'll beat West Virginia, but I think they have a decent chance.
The fact that it's a road game
All right.
throws that wrench, but they have a shot to. Ted, you should be rooting for them to beat West Virginia anyways.
I am, but
All right,
I
let's
mean,
move to-
there's rooting and then there's practical thinking.
Okay, let's move to the night games. Boston College at Florida State. Florida State lost their 3 games, and now first 3 games. Now they've won 7 straight, and they clinched the ACC Atlantic 4th year in a row. Dick Cook sucked pretty much, except for 66 yards, which means he's the devil. Mike Latta, 24 for 128 yards. Dick Cook is confirmed as the devil.
So it's only fair
other
that he
than
will
that-
play touchdown Jesus in the ACC championship game.
That is true. I guess we'll see whether Jesus or the devil can come out on top.
I mean, this is Touchdown Jesus' first chance at an ACC title, isn't it?
Yeah, because
last season-
I think
they were
I am
more than eligible
99%
last year.
sure they were there. I'm pretty sure they were there in 2014, and they would have probably been there in 2015, except for the whole dollar bill thing.
Last year,
Yeah, they won
were supposed to be there.
They won the Coastal in 2014, and they probably should have won the Coastal in 2015.
They
And
did
they
win
wouldn't
the
win
Coastal in
Well, they won the
2015.
Coastal in 2015, but because of the ineligibility, they had to give it to
Forfeit it, yeah. And then 2014, they did win, and TD Jesus didn't beat Florida State, so there you go. It's his chance at redemption.
Yeah.
We'll go over that later, though.
All right, Notre Dame at Georgia Tech. Despite Trey's protest, Notre Dame does win.
Hey, let's let Trey have the insight on this game, guys.
I thought I would win, but I didn't.
Oh wait, he's not here.
No, you gotta make him sound like Lumpy Space Princess. Oh, fuck, but like, oh my god, I did it.
This thing's going down in flames quick. Let's just get through these games. Notre Dame beats Georgia Tech, which shocks nobody. James Avery puts up 2 interceptions. He didn't get injured like I predicted, but he had a pretty mediocre game. Rocky Waters, he had a pretty mediocre game himself. He just didn't turn over the ball. Nick Engelberg and Damian Stewart getting it done for the Fighting Irish. Clyde Smith. No, that's Georgia Tech's kicker. What an Alabama name, Clyde Smith. Anyway, Notre Dame wins. Georgia Tech loses. Who's left on Georgia Tech's schedule?
They play me, Virginia.
Oh,
Pittsburgh and Georgia.
okay, so they're definitely going to get bowl eligibility this season. What a shame.
Or they don't.
TCU at Oklahoma State. By God, was this a fucking prolapse?
This game was literally Nathan Burton's nightmare. 9 of 17 for 83 yards, 3 picks. He got sacked 3 times, all by Anthony Ortiz.
Guys, it was Nathan's burden.
Boo.
Is that really the best pun you could come up with?
Get out, Barbara.
Yes, it was the best I could come up with. TCU just went out and had a fucking prolapse. I mean, there's no other way to say
TCU
it.
played like 2014 TCU.
2016 TCU played like TCU in general. It was bad. TCU is bad. And I can't wait to take the screws to Oklahoma State twice now so I can go 4 now. Math is hard.
Come on, Michigan fan, do it. You just gotta use your fingers.
Suck my fucking dick. 5-0. I want to go 5-0 against Oklahoma State. That'll be easy.
All right.
We'll
Next
move
game.
on.
Also, never mind. All right. Next game, Purdue at Arizona. Purdue holds the lead at halftime. They had the lead with 5 minutes left to go, but Arizona ended up winning.
I told you Purdue would lead at the half. It's the Purdue way.
Both teams put up
I'm
decent
sorry,
action.
Neo. There's not a lot to say about this game. You squeaked out a win.
Yep. All right. Washington and Oregon, next game, surprisingly close. Washington only wins 21-14, but Sean Anderson didn't fumble like you predicted. It was only Joaquin Younger, the QB, which ended up leading to Washington's win.
I want to say that's close. I mean, I want to get half credit for that because an Oregon running back did fumble. It was just
no, it's their QB.
Somebody fucking fumbled on Oregon. I don't care who it was. Although I did predict Sean Anderson, their quarterback did fumble.
Washington
Rufus Horn
behind though, down 14 at the half, ended up scoring the last 21 points.
I mean, Phil Knight can buy him everything except win, guys. You can buy them those new facilities, you can buy them new uniforms every week, but that's still not going to get you the victory. Oregon continues their tailspin from last season. Washington continues to impress from last season. I think this effectively kills Oregon's bowl chances this season.
At Wazoo, Rutgers, Oregon State's remaining on their schedule.
Never mind, I spoke too soon.
All right, next game, Georgia at Bama. Bama remains pretty scary, except for the missed field goal thing. I mean, special teams is good. They had a 100-yard kickoff return for touchdown and a blocked extra point. They got a game-sealing interception on defense, and their offense was efficient. Scary.
I mean, like I said, I didn't want to disrespect Kafka, but his offense just didn't. He doesn't have enough offensive firepower to hang with this Alabama team. Georgia's going to sadly fall some more. Alabama cemented their number one place, and that knocks Georgia out of the title race. I'm pretty sure they had like a slim chance. They don't.
Yeah, I thought they were basically knocked out of it.
I think Missouri clinches now. Anyway, Alabama, I mean, is pretty much going to roll to the playoffs. We all know this.
Yep.
Yes, Missouri clinches.
Okay, so Missouri clinches.
Missouri clinches without playing this week, so that's a great present for them.
Nothing better on a bye week than to clinch.
This game just ensures that I will not clear my cookies for another week, so I still see the Notre Dame text at the top.
Sage, I better be in Player of the Week voting. Thank you.
All right, anyway.
Oh, God.
Barn loses to LSU. Doug Kirby actually had a good game, which is kind of surprising. And no one on Auburn was all that good, except Ja'Cory Kessler was not too bad.
Rome confided in me that he thought he was going to lose this game. I tried to talk him up. I guess that was the wrong thing to do. Crimson Chin has figured out what is wrong with the LSU Tigers and is attempting to pick up the pieces. Post-game comments from Coach Rome from Auburn says he's, quote, thoroughly done with this season, end quote. We're still trying to get further clarification on what that means.
No one knows.
It's hard to tell what he's thinking sometimes. Anywho, the last game of the night, Nebraska racks up another quality loss. I just want to point out Mark Harrington, 102-yard kickoff for a touchdown. 102-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to start this game. Nebraska.
He's not showing any type of speed if he's taking him 13 seconds to get that far though.
Sean Hamilton finally looking halfway decent. Almost 200 yards, 16-24 with 2 touchdowns.
He outplayed Todd Jennings on the road, so not bad.
That's pretty impressive. But as expected in a snow game, the rushing gets it done. Also, Sean Hamilton, why were you trying to rush?
He wasn't. He got sacked, lost the ball.
Oh, no wonder. Okay,
got sacked, lost it. Goodman, who forced it with the sack, picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown.
Gotcha. Oh, well, I didn't read the whole stats. So
no, I didn't run in for a touchdown. Just picked it up. Saw a touchdown elsewhere.
It was just a sack fumble, and then the same value sack fumble recovered it.
So Nebraska, who's left for them?
Quality losses everywhere.
For Nebraska, they have at Illinois, San Jose State, at Iowa.
So
Okay, so
they're
they're in.
probably going to get a bowl game. If they lost to Illinois, I would laugh myself to death, and I'm pretty sure Rabbit would become Morton.
Commit seppuku.
No, I think he would just literally become one of those
That
giant
also depends on how
store-sized
many
salt
bowl
tablets.
spots the Big Ten has.
Big Ten's kind of down this year. I don't think there'll be any problem for Nebraska if they make.
Well, looking at it right now, Penn State has 9. Ohio State's 6-3. That's a bowl. Michigan's 7-3. That's a bowl. Iowa's 8-0. That's a bowl. Wisconsin's 8-1 with a bowl. Purdue's 6-4, still in a bowl. So that's what 8 teams right there, or 6 teams right there. I listed Maryland and Nebraska are the two that have the best chance to make a bowl and make it 7 or possibly 8 even.
You're right, but and I really no, I'm not going to say it. Anyway, I wonder how many teams are not going to fill bowl slots if the Big Ten are going to start taking some of theirs.
Well,
The
conferences with
AAC is
the
actually going to fill
That's
all
also
our
don't
spots. So.
Because one of those Penn State and Iowa both have a chance to make the playoffs. I really think they're both going to make the playoffs, so that frees up a couple of the bowl spaces. Let me load up the bowl games again. And we'll take a look at how many are going to be left, because I really think that no matter what happens, as long as Iowa and Penn State win out to the championship, whoever loses that game, Iowa, is going to get a at-large bid.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, guys, I gotta head out.
Okay, we'll finish this up.
Bye.
How is Big Ten on here? Oh, it's B1G. Great. Okay. Okay, so they have the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl, the Outback Bowl, the Bourbon Bowl, the Peony Bowl, and the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. Assuming that assuming Iowa and Penn State both make the playoffs, that leaves 5 bowl spaces for the remaining teams, and you named off 5 people already, correct?
I named off 6, including the 2 that go to bowls. So there could be only 4 that make bowls, and there's 1 just floating around.
How many bowl-eligible teams does the Big have now?
Currently, they have... Let me go back to it. They have 6.
Okay, so that leaves 1 free bowl space between Maryland and
Nebraska.
And that's assuming if Nebraska makes bowl eligibility, I think they would get the nod over Maryland, but Maryland's road certainly is tougher to make bowl eligibility over Nebraska.
Yeah, Maryland has to beat Michigan State or Penn State, because it's already assumed they're going to beat Rutgers, so they have to probably beat Michigan State, because it's probably foregone conclusion they're not going to beat Penn State in Happy Valley.
Based on, and I know we always make fun of Rabbit for this, but based on his strength of schedule and his quality losses, I think he would get the nod for the final bowl, assuming he makes bowl eligibility, over Maryland due to his just tougher schedule. I don't know how those are factored, but this is assuming that it becomes an issue. If Illinois managed to sneak up and surprise Nebraska, that's it for their bowl chances.
Yeah, if Illinois wins or if Michigan State wins, these talks are null and void.
They could both win, and then it turns out the Big has more spots than they need anyway.
Yeah.
Still a lot of football to be played. But anyway, interesting. I'd like to go over the rest of the bowl slots, but it's only the 2 of us, and I don't think people really care.
Yeah, probably not.
So,
I doubt we have that many viewers anyways.
We have 6. I don't know if it's worth my time.
Yeah, probably not.
We can go over those next week when college basketball isn't being played.
Well, when the games are on at night, because it's down to 8 teams or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so let's sign off here.
Yep.
This is the end of college game day. Thanks for watching. See you later.
See you.